sometimes I think also whether we have what it takes to understand Dharma is also what we have experienced in life. Like,
Yes, very
last
true. What you say is very true. Yeah.
last time, if you tell me old age, sickness and death,
That time
very,
you cannot understand. Uh,
um,
you don't pay serious attention. But to you, what is all this? But the last few years after you have gone through your auntie, your parent, everything, the understanding like completely different for you now. No?
yeah, very different. Even if, when I was young, I have a grandmother also.
But
She
that time you were not
yeah,
sensitive. You were not
yeah,
able to pay attention to all this. Your life
yeah,
was too good. You are still young. And where got time to listen to old age sickness and death? Uh,
yeah, true, true. But now,
because you haven't reached that maturity and understanding yet. Mm.
mm, yeah. And so when I understand that, and then when I read the Dharma again, it,
Ah,
yeah,
completely
it
different,
stands
isn't
out.
it?
Yes,
Ah,
it stands out. And I understand what Brother Teo is trying to tell us. Maybe not all, but
yeah,
still some understanding there. And I know why. And I also Sir Brother Teo always trying to tell us, but sometimes the button doesn't get pressed into
yeah,
us.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Not
Yeah.
not the right timing yet. When the timing come, it like trigger off.
Like 美姬谁呀？
Meiji say, yeah, correct. That is the right word. Uh, because a lot of human beings living in our planet, especially human beings, they actually haven't realized the danger of being heedless, no, without the Dhamma understanding. But to them, most of them think life is just uh, to compete to be successful and to make a lot of money and to have the good life because they don't see the realities of life and existence, especially the first noble truth eight reality yet. And most of them don't bother about this eight reality, but to them is chasing after the material life, the success in material life, or some struggling to survive, to find their way through in life. So a lot of them were afflicted, full of suffering, misery. Well, this is the karmic thing, payback time. And most of them can't understand. And like you mentioned just now, it takes you quite a while, even like cultivator like you, it takes you quite a while because when we were young, most of us, I won't say all, we don't have time for spiritual thing on. Not until they hit problem. They hit certain very severe obstruction, karmic obstruction, or certain milestone in their life and career that trigger of the desperate need for answer to understand why life can be so difficult and so tough. They won't search. Then most of them, after they search, they got the answer and they recover, they forgot about the spiritual thing again. Then they continue their own way and they again land themselves into trouble. Until like you mentioned just now, Meiji say, haven't wake up yet. Uh, then only they want to be serious about life. But then it's too late, and so by then they are maybe like your age, coming to 50 already, uh, or 40 something already. Of course, not too late, but to me, is you have not much time left because let's say you live until 80, maybe another 30 years or 30 over years. But you cannot guarantee that these 30 over years you can be in the state of mind, the good health and good condition to cultivate this teaching and to develop the understanding and progress. That's why you need the Bodhisattva way to have all this understanding, so that when they are born, when they are young, all this understanding will come back to them. Then they will be able to receive the Dharma early. But these type of beings are less common. Uh, I should say very uh, very rare breed. Like you can't find them. And most people are not of that ability. That's why the majority are the normal living beings who are more keen towards uh, like compete among themselves to be successful in the materialistic aspect of life and to develop their own ambition, fantasy, and all those things to be successful in life, mainly towards the materialistic success, the financial, the wealth aspect, thinking that with good career, good financial success, they will have the means to have the good life. But most people realize after they achieve good, maybe financial success and also good career, their family life is still upside down. Uh, and sometimes they still have a lot of first noble truth uh, reality problem, especially regarding old age, sickness, and death as they draw nearer to uh, being older. After they hit 60 and above, then they realize this one start to haunt them. Then they have more and more relationship problem and a lot of things that they encounter in life, they cannot resolve it amicably. Then sometimes there is still attachment, fear, worry, anxiety, clinging, grasping. So all these are the realities of life and existence that can haunt living beings. That's why to really develop the serious intent to cultivate and go this way, you need to have good parami, good karmic affinity with the triple gem, or spiritually inclined towards spiritual teaching and understanding of life. So all this is what we witness within the world. That's why what you share actually is this phase where most people have to go through. So in the early years when I came out to share all this, most people cannot understand, because I don't blame you all, because at that era and at that time, the understanding was very, very shallow, very limited. Uh, then for me, I find it strange because I searched very young. Like I said, 1971, that thing started. Then when I came to understand what all this in 1989, I was 35 years old. So to me, I thought everybody was more or less like me. What you need is the teaching. So when I was asked to come out to share 16 years later by 15 years later by Sister Yun Chan, which is the year 2004, I realized a lot of you cannot understand what I try to share. Uh, because at that time, most of them are not ready. They don't have the understanding. That's why I explained the whole thing to you all. Initially, I tried to teach the teaching. Then I realized hardly anybody understands. So I revert backward, slow down everything, and started from the basic understanding of the core teaching of the Buddha. That's why I started with the Four Noble Truths, the three turning. Then I try to link up all the essential Dharma. Then I teach the preliminary teaching. Uh, then only later on I slowly go into mindfulness awareness. So all this is described in the next book. That's why the next book have a whole summary of what my nature did. And that was very beautiful. There is a book that described comprehensively and able to link out all the cultivation. Of course, with the help of Brother Song's interaction, where he started developing very serious interest in the unique Dharma code the last 2-3 years. And to him, that thing is so beautiful. And every time I share the unique Dharma code in the Thursday class, it like have very strong imprint on uh, his nature, and he like keep on receiving all this understanding and awakening because he actually read through them, listen to them, and contemplate, reflect, and did a lot of cultivation. So because of that, it trigger off all the Q&A thing, which help a lot. So this book also same, the coming book, the new book. Then this time around, Sui also contribute one very beautiful understanding. That one was surprisingly, after we actually improved the language flow, wow, it come out so beautifully. That part of the understanding is really, really beautiful. You read through, you will know. Because he just say the nature inside want her to share that part. Then she started to give example on the duality and all those things. The way people see things. Then he gave the example of the deaf person who cannot hear. To them is there is no sound. So no sound means no mundane duality or good sound, bad sound, all those sound. Good for health or not. So then the whole thing link up with the Surangama Sutta and the whole understanding. And it came out so beautiful. That's why all this is like meant to be. And that section, you go and read. It will help you understand. Well, a lot of things that we think is real and we give so much meaning to it, argue over it, fight over it, and quarrel over it, is actually illusionary, not real, not what you think. Because you don't have the mindfulness to understand all this, and you cannot understand the true mind and the mundane mind. That's why all this understanding cannot come about, and the nature's potential and special, unique ability to bring forth this type of understanding and teaching. All this, they are inside there. That's why I said that book is very comprehensive, unique, beautiful, and really a true gem for cultivator of the way. So this one will really transform a lot of you.